In Sonora, two elderly women were brutally murdered on the Sonoyta-Caborca Highway. Investigators revealed that they were attacked by an armed group when they were traveling from Arizona. News for Tucson's Isabella Fredrickson has the details.
Sonora is once again the scene of tragedy. Two women were murdered while traveling from Arizona to Caborca. Their vehicle was found on the side of the Sonoyta-Caborca Federal Highway. The vehicle was practically destroyed with several bullet holes.
They practically stole all the belongings they had in the vehicle. This could be confirmed by the fingerprints left around it. So the hitman, in addition to executing these women, also stole their belongings.
The prosecution identified the victims as Edidina N., aged 72, and Ubaldina N., aged 82. The Sonoyta-Caborca news page shares with us the image of the funeral that was held in their memory.
They stopped them, they got scared, they shot at them, and then the vehicle practically drove about 2 kilometers further until it went off the road.
Following the attack, the Sonora prosecutor's office reported the seizure of a vehicle, cartridges, and magazines for long weapons, but no arrests were made.
We have often been told that they stand on the side of the road to set up checkpoints.
This is the second attack against American travelers on the Sonoyta-Caborca Highway in recent months. Just in July, a woman was injured in an armed attack. She was traveling from California with her husband and 3 children.
The Deltas, the Pelones, the Hunters, recently the Pumas, the Lords of the Desert, labels that change because they simply feel like it. But let's say that in this list we put 10 to 20 criminal groups.
Oscar Balderas is a journalist specializing in organized crime. He spoke about the armed groups that operate in this area and the dispute for control that is taking place in the northern Sonora, which today leaves tourists and civilians as collateral damage.
There are more civilian deaths or other aggressions against people not related to the conflict that the groups have because there's an explosion of armed groups which are trying to control the border.
The governor of Sonora was questioned on Monday regarding the unfortunate double homicide.
The victims have been identified and are from Caborca. They have already secured attackers' vehicles and weapons.
When asked about recommendations for tourists and travelers, since Sonoyta is one of the busiest crossings for Americans, he simply said the following.
It must be done with the greatest possible care, naturally, not only here, but anywhere in the country.
In its latest alert, the State Department placed Sonora on alert level 3, asking people to reconsider their trip. Given the incident of violent incidents, it is also important to be aware of the recommendations and resources of the Mexican Consular Network in Arizona, which regularly updates information on social media and makes available the Guide to Mexican Heroes with emergency numbers and points.